Hi everyone, welcome back to the Physio Exchange with myself and Wade. Today we have a question from Matt, who is a biokineticist, and he's asking what our rehabilitation protocol is for lateral epicondylitis, also known as tennis elbow, as he has a patient who they have been doing strength exercises with, but they're sort of not progressing. He doesn't feel like they're getting enough progression and they're still struggling with pain.
Okay.
So what would your advice be?
Well, lateral epicondylitis, and this is a specific muscle, and usually when we try to explain load, especially to patients or athletes for tennis elbow or lateral epicondylitis, is if you look at the anatomy of the muscle that causes the pain, is the extensor carpi radialis brevis. And if you look at that anatomy, it's a very small, thin little muscle which attaches to our middle phalange base of there, and that's why we do the Mortley test to kind of see if that's positive. So it's a small muscle, so a lot of the times big loads to that muscle actually flares that system. So what the person can handle, so things like turning the car keys or unscrewing a jar usually aggravates those areas, which are minimal effort on those muscles, and that flares it up. So usually small loads, I like to start isometrically, just like with a little tennis ball squeeze, making sure that that forearm is supported, and then moving over to eccentrics. And I usually say can of bean exercise, so literally something that's very light, a broader grip, because we know the tighter the grip, the more aggravated that area can become. And then what tennis elbow is caused by is excessive wrist extension. So nothing to really do with elbow movement, but wrist extension. So we're working on the isometrics of that grip and that muscle, and then going eccentric loads from extension to flexion. And then again, can of beans. And when I'm ready, I get to about 1 kg, and I rarely pass 1 kg. I almost never tell my patient to go heavier than 1 kg because we're just addressing that small muscle group. That's usually my approach. Oh, one last little thing. So a lot of times we might still have lingering pain. Check the neck, because a lot of times that cervical system does refer to that area, and that last little bit of pain or discomfort we can't get rid of. Check the next referral to that area.
I agree. One other thing I would, before doing sort of weights, because I know some people prefer to weights, sometimes I do a can of bean. I like to do band work before going straight to a weight. I feel like it's good control, eccentric control, and then controlled concentric when I'm ready to go to concentric exercising of that muscle as well. And then the other thing is also I'd like the patient to actually take a break from any exercise where they're constantly doing wrist extension. I did have a case recently where the patient was advised to wear a
counterforce brace.
That's right, an offloading brace, but they were doing the exercises with the brace on, which kind of defeats the purpose because you're wanting to load that tendon. So in that case, you can't be wearing your brace while doing the exercises, but you can be wearing your brace if your daily tasks that you're doing are aggravating your symptoms. That's when you can actually wear your brace.
So when we expose that tendon, we need the tendon to be exposed, and then just managing the loads and ranges that they do it in. Challenge the area, but not aggravate the area. And then when we either need to get through a game or daily activities, we then use the counterforce braces. What you say?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Matt, we hope that helped just on our approach. And there's two different approaches. Both Cara and I address this differently, but we try to get the same outcomes, obviously. So yeah, man, hope that helped. So guys, if you guys have any more questions, please head to the website, kurzweilphysio.co.za. Get to the podcast link, drop us a question. We'll see you next time on the Physio Exchange.